Hello kids! By the way, I am Binibining Mutia Kabanalan, your future mathematics teacher 3. What we are going to study is about identifying and drawing points, lines, line segments, and rays. At the end of the lesson, students are expected to create or draw different point, line segment, and ray, and understand the difference between line segment and ray. In the previous lesson, we have studied and learned how to show and give equal or equivalent fraction. To fully understand our lesson, let's review and study the illustrations below. What do you see in our illustrations? Right! It shows different shapes. But did you know that before the shape and illustration you see are formed, it all starts at one point. Point stands for that. It can be named by letter. As in our example, it reads point A, can also be point B. Any letter can be used to name a point. When we join a point, we can form a line. And when the line is joined in a meaningful order, we can form a shape until the shapes form a different image or illustration. In our illustration, we have formed a rectangle. Can you determine how many points there are here? Great! There are 4 points to this. These are point A, point B, point C, and point D. In this illustration, how many points do you see? Right! There are 5 points in our illustration. These are point A, point B, point C, point D, and point E. By the coordinated point A and point D, we have created a line or line AD. As of linking point C and point E, we have created a line or line CE. The line consists of 2 or more points. It has 2 arrowheads on either end. These head arrows mean it can extend or fade indefinitely. In naming our lines, we will also use letters. As in our example, it can be named line N. It can also be named after the letters at the end of the arrowhead. So it can also be called line AD. Put a line symbol above the letters. Always remember that its letters can be reversed, so it can be called line DA. Don't forget the line symbol above it. For another example, it can be called and written line M. In addition, the letters at both ends can also be used, so it is also correct to call this line EC. Letters can be reversed and called line CE. Put a symbol above to show what it refers to. A line has 2 subsets or parts. These are the line segment and ray. A line segment is a subset or parts of a line with 2 endpoints at either end of it. This means it can no longer lengthen or shrink. In our illustration, we have line E and line F. From point A and point O, we have formed the line segment AO. Place a line segment symbol above the letters of its name. As mentioned, it has endpoints on both ends. The order of the letters can also be reversed, so it can also be called line segment OA. Aside from this, using point O and point C, we generate line segment OC. It can be reversed, so the line segment CO is also correct. Don't forget the line segment symbol at the top of its name. Using the point L and point O, we generate a line segment LO, which can also be called line segment OL. Another example is the correlated point O and point M. The line segment OM or line segment MO. Make sure there is a line segment symbol above its name. As in the example, let's remember that when line segment endpoints are at both ends of it. Now, let's study the ray. Ray has a subset or part with an endpoint at the one end and an arrowhead at the other end. Using line E and line F, let us define the rays in our illustration. Using the point O, which will be the end point, and the point A on the arrowhead, we form ray OA. Put a ray symbol above its letters. If in the line and in the line segment, the letters can be reversed. In ray, it is necessary to say or write the point at the end point before the point at the arrowhead, so it cannot be reversed. Another example, from point O, which is our end point, to point M, which is our arrowhead. We from ray OM, put a ray symbol above it. Note that in ray, its letters cannot be reversed. Apart from this, it can also be seen from point O that our endpoint to point L that our arrowhead has formed ray OL. Is there still a ray in our illustration? Right! Ray OC is also here. Don't forget the ray symbol above its letters. We recorded ray OA, ray OM, ray OL, and ray OC. Did you follow our discussion? Great! You've finished our lesson. If there are parts that are not clear to you, you can go back and watch the video again for your full learning. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much.